A lot of people asked for this with the game sound reduced, so here you go. It's a re-upload, but it's for you. Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is Feedback Friday, where I answer your questions from Twitter. I don't really know what this gameplay is. The title is Playing the Objective, and it's pretty long, because I'm feeling chatty, so I guess that's what you can expect. Let's get going. Woody, what's your opinion on montage makers? So I have, I think, a different view than the average guy of a montage maker. Of course, there's no hate on them, right? Knock yourself out. You want to make a montage, then, you know, awesome, right? You're just trying to make entertainment videos. What I appreciate in a montage, though, is usually not the gameplay. I've seen a bunch of, you know, 4-man kill feeds. I've seen my triples already, my quads, etc. Like, I don't know. For me, I've seen so many of these that I've been there, done that. But when somebody syncs to music, when somebody, you know, does something artistically with the editing, when somebody does something really cool, you know, not seizure-inducing silliness, but like, you know, an art to their montage, that's what I really, really love. I mean, heck, to me, if they were to do an amazing montage of like dogs eating their food out of a bowl, but it was synced to music and the effects turned it into something more entertaining than it otherwise would have been, I'd appreciate it, I think, in the same way that I appreciate Call of Duty montages. Really, I don't care that you quickscope, but if you edit this in an amazing way, I think that's really, really cool. That's my view of montages. Recently, all this YouTube drama is giving me a headache. What is your view on it? Love the videos, keep them up. Oh man, the biggest mistake I've made this year, certainly this month, was making a video about that poor guy's live stream. I honestly didn't think it was him, so when everyone was saying it was, I thought I was the only smart guy in the room, and I was like, dude, it's not him, you know, everyone settle down, etc. And then a couple people who I know better were like, Woody, it's actually him. And I looked at it, and I saw it more and more, and it was like, oh, darn it. So I made a correction video. If I hadn't made that first one, and therefore wouldn't have to make the second, wouldn't have made either if I knew from the start, then I would have this moral high ground, this ability to say, like, guys, you know, to quit your little girl drama nonsense. But instead, I'm like part of the problem, and I don't have the moral high ground that I wish I had. So I'm just trying to sort of step away from it and let it unfold without my involvement. That's kind of where I am, you know. I made a mistake. I put up a defense video, but in the end, it would have been smarter to just not put up a video at all. That's where I am. Oh, I will say this, like, from a business perspective, it's kind of good. Like, subs and views are doing fine, but I swear I would give them up if, you know, if I could have less headaches. Like, I don't need more subs and views. I'm doing great. What I actually just want is, like, peace of mind and happiness, and you know, that's hard to get in this kind of environment. Woody, do you think for some of your videos the background games could be changed a bit? I love the Call of Duty ones. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. I absolutely think that. That every day I wake up and I want to kick my own butt and think, Woody, why aren't you getting more variety in here? You know, I've had some Battlefield 3 lately. I've had some Assassin's Creed. I've had some Borderlands 2. Like, I've been working other games in, and I guess I intentionally did almost purely Call of Duty for the release of the game. But I think it is time to do some other stuff. Some guys have asked for Grand Theft Auto. I haven't played that game since, like, the PS2. So I don't know, I'm cautious about that one. I don't know if it's my cup of tea, like this open world stuff. I like what a lot of people don't like, which is, you know, like a yellow brick road that tells me where I'm supposed to be going and doing. Like, I enjoy that in a game, but I don't know. I want to play more games. Far Cry is on my list. I think that's, you know, a really cool thing. But yeah, I just have to get out there and do it. Like, it's so, like, it's sort of ingrained. I'm in this, like, routine where I play COD all the time and you know, do my thing. But I want to, you know, change that routine and work in some other stuff more than I have before. So yeah, you can definitely expect to see more games on my channel. There'll always be a COD focus because a lot of guys come here expecting for COD and because I enjoy the game. But, you know, I don't want it to be just COD. Woody, is it true you're part of a conspiracy to bully Machinima to only pay big commentators and squeeze out the smaller guy? No, do not believe what you hear from some of these sites. What's actually true is Machinima is looking to renegotiate lower paying contracts with the channels that they're paying the most. So, you know, if you think about your favorite commentator that may have more than like 500,000 subs and gets a lot of views, he's probably on their list to earn less from Machinima next year than he did the previous year. And I'm on their, you know, renegotiate list. So what will happen is sometime next year, they'll offer me a new contract that's not quite as good as my current one, and I'll compare that to competitive offers and decide whether or not I stay. That's the whole story. This notion that I'm some sort of Machinima mastermind that got all the small channels to take a pay cut so I could get a raise is backwards. I actually think the small channels are fine and the big channels are getting the cuts. But we'll see how it works out. Woody, do you believe there are games on the market at the moment that could overtake or outsell COD? No. I think that Call of Duty is going to reign supreme for this year. And then next year, there'll be a new PS3, I'll call it PS4. There'll be a new Xbox. There'll be a Steam box. So there'll be 3 major consoles releasing next year. And I think that that is going to have a huge difference on the market. I think that Call of Duty has a big, you know, workload in front of them to be able to run well on the new consoles and compete with the people who are, you know, designed fresh from the start to run on that new console. And there's a lot of code designed to make Call of Duty run well on this, you know, what I'm going to consider out-of-date consoles for next year. And I mean, heaven forbid, if they actually release a title that runs on the old consoles, dude, I'm bored, right? You know, like, I don't want to say I'm bored now, but you know, I'm not interested in games that run on the Xbox 360 come next year. So come next year, I think there'll be something out there that you know, that replaces COD, unless they do a lot to transition and stay on top. Woody, why aren't you in Vegas to see Joe Lauzon? Because I'm bad luck, dude. He's won 3 out of his last 4 fights. Guess which one I was there for? Yeah, the one in Tokyo. Joe's awesome. The Tokyo fight, he has this line. So if you guys don't know, in Tokyo he lost a fight and he got knocked out by this high kick. Anyway, the way he puts it out there, he's like, if I lost in Tokyo, which totally wouldn't happen because I'd remember something like that, then and it's funny, he's like, never happened. So yeah, but I thought you guys might be interested to know what it's like, you know, before a fight. I was in Tokyo with Joe, and you know, we hung out the whole time, and you know, etc. They arrive, they cut some weight, and by cutting weight, they try to be on weight, which for Joe in this case is 156. That's what he's trying to weigh, within a pound of 155, for as short a period as possible. So like the day before the fight, he's barely cutting. He's monitoring, he's dieting, right? Like he's drinking tons and tons of water. He's avoiding salt. He's doing stuff like that. But he's not, you know, he's not cutting weight yet. He'll weigh like 169 a day or two before the fight, and then he'll lose 13, 14 pounds in a day. He's trying not to be that like worn out, super skinny version of him for very long. And what does that mean? Well, there's some time in the sauna, right? They'll do like a concentrated sauna session where he'll lose like 8 pounds in a spot. And then there's a lot of watching movies. You know, they get Wi-Fi set. You know, he brings a wireless router into the hotel room, and you know, they all set up on that. And you know, that's what it's like. It's mostly just chilling, wasting time, waiting for the fight to go, not burning energy, making sure that it's all about the win, right? You know, it's not a vacation. You know, he did a vlog where he said some of this recently, but he is not out there on vacation. Everybody there, including me, right? But I don't have much to offer, was just focused on helping Joe win, right? Like, you know, all I can do is like, dude, you want water? You know, like, you know, whatever. But you know, there's coaches there. I actually sat in on the coaches strategy meeting in Tokyo. And every so often they'd look at me, but I don't say a word, not a word. Like, worst case scenario, what if they were to like, what if I influenced them? No, you know, he's got a professional fight camp, people who really know what they're doing, and I'm, you know, just a regular person, so you know, that's all there is to it. Let the coaches be coaches, and I just, you know. Dude, you want breakfast? I can get that. You know, like that's all I want to offer, like a Joe Lauzon camp, because you know, they've got real experts there. But basically, they just sit around and stuff. You know, when in Tokyo, he got me like cool tickets. So I was with like the fighters' families and the fighters and stuff. And you'd see a guy fight, and then 90 minutes later he shows up like 3 seats away from me, sitting next to his mom or whatever. And that was kind of a neat experience. But mostly, you know, like I guess it's partly because, you know, it's a lot of effort to go out and see the fight, and partly because like I definitely don't want to be something that Joe has to maintain, right? Like, you know, when someone goes there, like, I don't want Joe to feel responsible for my happiness or anything like that. You know, dude, Joe, you just win your fight. So, yeah, I'll be watching it. I am emotionally invested in this thing. Like, I don't know. Like, there are probably some people out there who have, like, favorite sports teams or whatever, and they just, like, really care how this thing works out. And that's kind of where I am with Joe on this. Like, I like Joe. He's a great guy. I've been watching him since before I knew him, and I really want this to go well for him. And you know, it's a big fight, and the guy he's up against is a tough guy, but not as tough as Joe. And you know, it's gonna be cool. So, War Lauzon. Woody, what are your thoughts on gun control? So gun control has been in the news lately, and you know, a lot of guys are against guns now because there was this horrible shooting in Connecticut, which was just a total nightmare. And I think I'm gonna make this game long. You guys don't care, right? I'm gonna add another game onto this and keep talking. So I feel like guns are a right in America, right? You know, there's this Bill of Rights. It's the second one. It's right next to free speech. And a lot of guys won't like that. I feel the dislikes rolling in. But the percentage of people that do bad things with guns is so low that it borders on zero, right? It's just like video games. The percentage of people that do bad things with video games, that play video games and then do bad things, is so low that it's just about zero. It doesn't seem right to me to, you know, like, start punishing everyone who plays a video game by making it illegal and you can't have access to it anymore, or punishing everybody who has a gun because, you know, 1 or 2 jackasses do bad things with them. You know, these things aren't actually, you know, commonly used in a really bad way. It's, you know, I'm a gun owner, right? I think a lot of you probably know, right? I've got a safe with a collection of guns. I don't have a ton. Like, it probably sounds like a ton to a non-gun owner, but I think I have like 6 rifles or something and 2 pistols. And I like them. The only thing I've ever shot is paper, and once famously a mercy killing on a squirrel that was dying and had bugs on its eyeballs and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm a killer out there. I'm not even a hunter. I'm just a guy who likes to shoot for tight groups. I'm pretty good with a pistol, I think, and I think I'm an average shot with both of them. Like, I'm respectable, but not anybody special. And I like doing it. I like it when they go bang. One of the things I appreciate in guns, and I don't know how many of you will appreciate this, but like, I like high quality machines. I think they're really cool. I have a table saw in my garage, a saw stop, if you guys know anything about it. And it is the most precision woodworking instrument I've ever used. I absolutely love it. The guns are the same way. They are machined with this precision. They operate in such a way, and like when you have a gun, you have to take it apart and clean it, and you see all the parts in it, and you can, like, it's not so complicated that I can't understand how it works, like electronics, but it is really well engineered and designed and creative, mechanical. And you know, there aren't a lot of things in my life that are still mechanical that are actually pretty cool, you know. And I like guns, you know. A lot of people think of guns as this, like, you know, laser beam death machine or stuff like that. In my mind, they are remote hole poking devices. The damage that they create on someone else is really similar to that an ice pick would have. And this sounds horrible and gruesome, right? But it's like, oh my god, he got shot, he flies back 6 feet in the movies and stuff like that. No. You know, picture what would happen to you if you were poked with an ice pick. Like, if it was in your thigh or something, it would be awful, but you'd be fine. If it was in like a lung or a heart or a head or something, then you'd be terrible, right? You'd be done. That's what they are. They're like remote hole poking machines, and that's why I use them on paper. You know? And like, I'm a safe, rational, normal gun owner, and I think people like me are the ones that are impacted by gun laws, and you know, it just stinks. I am okay with certain gun laws. You know, for example, in North Carolina, to get a concealed carry permit, one that, you know, lets you hold a gun on you all the time, you have to pass a proficiency test that proves that you're able to shoot the gun pretty well. You know, you have to, you know, hit paper, and they time you, and they put some stress on you, and they turn the lights out and stuff, and you have to prove that you're fairly good with a gun, and you also have to pass a written test, which proves that you know when you're allowed to use it and when you're not. And for me, that was awesome because I didn't come from a gun family, so like a lot of this stuff, like, you know, encouraged me to take lessons, to get a trainer, someone to show me how to use this thing, to hit the range a lot. It made me like a nice, responsible gun owner. Whereas if you could just fill out a form and get the same thing, then maybe it wouldn't work out quite as well. But you know, my thoughts on gun control. I don't mind the idea of people having to be qualified. A lot of gun rights people don't like that. They think that it should be as easy to buy as shampoo, right? You've got a right to own this thing. Don't start putting qualifications on what's a right. Me, like, coming from a guy that's not, like, wasn't raised as a gun owner. Like, I got my first gun in my 30s. Still in my 30s, but whatever. I got my first gun, you know, a couple years ago, and it helped me be a better gun owner than I would have been if none of this stuff was in place. But yeah, to sum it up, just like I started, the percentage of people that do bad things because of guns, the percentage of people that do bad things, you know, who play video games, or the percentage of people who do bad things who listen to rock and roll music or rap is so small that you shouldn't be outlawing this thing in an effort to address the 0.0001%. Did you scar Colin with your cervix pounder yet? No, no. What he's talking about is, one time on Painkiller already, I made this joke saying that my plan was to show my son my, like, you know, adult full-sized unit, and and then he would see it and think it was gigantic compared to his, like, pre-puberty thing, and then just never let him see it again and live down as a legend forever in his eyes as this, like, massive person. And but it was actually a joke I stole from the Man Show, and I thought it was really funny, and it went over well in PKA, but I've since had haters repeat it to me again and again, like it was my actual plan, like I was some sort of, you know, pedophile who liked to show my penis to, you know, 10-year-olds and stuff. It was just a joke I saw on TV and shamelessly copied it, and it got big laughs at the time, but people like to use it against me. You know, haters gonna hate. Buy a t-shirt on your way out. Have a good day. If you liked the video, be sure to give me a like. If you're new around here and you liked it, you can subscribe by clicking in the top right. There's 2 videos you missed on your screen. You can you know, click on those and they open in new windows. Enjoy them if that's your thing. And otherwise, have a good day.